Hello friends, welcome back to another episode in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I had some challenges and luckily I am able to record again. There was an unfortunate hard drive fail that wiped my Windows drive clean, so I had to install the sim and Windows twice over the course of 4 days. Reinstall all the add-ons, remap all my controllers, recreate all the folders, so it was a lot of work to get done. But I'm back. So we are revisiting the CRJ700 to take a look at this aircraft again. It's been a while since I flew it, and today we are going to fly with CRJ from Trondheim to Copenhagen. We are currently parked at gate 41 at Trondheim, and today we are also going to take a look at a great add-on that I discovered while looking for a co-pilot solution. I have the FS2 crew for CRJ. It has its pros and cons. By the way, there's an aircraft taking off at the background, so that's FS Traffic, recently released. And I believe it's an SAS CRJ taking off right now, which we can check. It's right there, he is, getting ready to do the takeoff run. FS Traffic, as you have heard, it's just released. My personal opinion, it kind of works, but not great at this point. It has missing models, it has some bugs that just Flight needs to sort out. But overall, it is not too bad. And the reason, there's more moving around and getting to the runway. This is gonna get loud here, but let me just get into the cockpit for some silence, and we'll talk about everything else when we are in the cockpit. Alright, this is much better. Pure silence, I guess. So yeah, there's another one passing by. So which means we have also airborne traffic too. The reason I decided to go with FS Traffic is most of the time when I fly, it's around 9 p.m. in the United States. And I like to fly in Europe a lot, as you might already know or noticed from my videos. And at that time in Europe, there is really not too much live traffic to inject into the sim. Don't get me wrong, FSLTL, I still love it. I still use it, but I wanted to make my airports a little bit more live and busy by using FS Traffic, because it's using a flight plan based generation, and because of that I can adjust the time as much as I like, and I will still have traffic at the gates, departing, pushing back, etc. Hopefully Just Flight will improve this product over the course of time and it will become better. This is not going to be the FS Traffic review. I already spoke a lot about it, but I will be doing a separate video shortly about FS Traffic and the solutions that I have found, or the workarounds to get it working in a state where it doesn't have huge performance hit and it doesn't cause any anomalies in the sim. Anyway, when I started, I was talking about a first officer software that I was looking for. And as I said, I had the FS2 crew for CRJ. It has its pros and cons. It works, but not great, especially if you are using voice recognition. I did not have the best experience with it, to be honest. And I was looking and came across this add-on that was not really heard about too much. It is called Flight Sim First Officer, FSFO. And it has a free version that you can use. And it has some paid versions for payware aircraft like CRJ, Inibuild's A310, PMDG 737, Phoenix A320, etc. And you have to pay for those. but it just changes your experience significantly. And the reason I was looking for as first officer is, one, when recording video, it gets quite busy and I needed a second hand to help with configuring the aircraft. Two, if you are flying on an online network, I do that on MedSim time to time. It helps to have a second hand in the cockpit, especially when you are required to tune the frequencies and contact the controller. Everything relies on you. So that's why, but we are going to take a look at that today as well. I think it's a great add-on. It didn't receive a lot of promotion, as I said. I found it or stumbled upon it when I was searching for a first officer solution. It's developed by a gentleman named Matt, and he's super responsive in the forums and their Discord server, and this is like actively being developed. And recently he released a version today which integrates this first officer with the GSX. So the first officer can now make the calls, not make the calls, but at least bring the menus to make the calls to GSX, and some of them are automated. Like the first officer can request catering, you don't have to touch anything, can request boarding, deboarding, fuel, pushback, etc. So that's what we are going to look at. Of course, we will have offline ATC provided by Pilot2ATC, and we'll try to simulate a real flight as much as possible. I hope you guys will like it. Again, this intro has been too long, but thanks for your patience, and we'll get to start the aircraft and discuss about what our first officer is going to do to help us. Before asking our co-pilot to board, a couple things to go over. The aircraft is already loaded with fuel and cargo. This is something you need to do in the CRJ, so there is no real-time loading. The payload is set in the sim, and the door is open and ground power is connected. So we will bring the co-pilot into the cockpit, and then she's gonna start setting up the aircraft and do the pre-flight flows. Now we are ready to invite our co-pilot to the cockpit and ask her to do the pre-flight flow. She will go out for a walk and then come back and continue the pre-flight flow when she's back. So it's not going to be done very shortly. She has some things that she needs to complete after coming back from the walk around. While we are doing this, let's just change the position of a couple things to show you that our co-pilot indeed is going to fix all of this. If the throttles are in the wrong position, if the hydraulic pumps are in the wrong position. What else? The nose wheel steering. So I think this is enough stuff for you guys to see. She is gonna correct all of this and then start powering the aircraft after making sure everything is in its intended position. All right, let's go ahead and invite her. Pre-flight flow.
Good afternoon, Captain.
She's here, and she's gonna start correcting things. As you see, she corrected the flaps and speed brakes and throttles as well. The only thing here is this throttles needs to go back to cutoff position. I have already contacted the developer and he'll probably look into this, so let me move them back. And she now established power to the aircraft. She's gonna set the IRS switches to nav. After setting our interior lights. There you go. The interior lights are now set and iris positions is back to now. And
I'm going to check out the aircraft.
Now she's going for a walk around. Our job at this point is to do the position initialization. We'll take the GPS position here, go to the flight plan. We are at Trondheim, going to Copenhagen. Our flight number is CityJet 2177. Our expected runway is 09. Our alternate is Munich. And our first waypoint in our flight plan routing is, let me see here, Evnen. Echo Victor November Echo November. From there we are going to take Lima 996 Airway, and they will take us to INREX. There we go. From INREX we are going direct to Tapla. Tapla Lima 996 again, and that will take us to Erno. And that's our routing complete. Let's execute this. Departure, we are expecting MV1 Alpha departure. And our arrival, we are expecting an ILS-4 left to Copenhagen via Erno 2 Alpha arrival with vectors to final. So that should be our flight plan routing. We can check the legs page. We will see a discontinuity right here because we will be vectored by the ATC to final, and we'll see if Pilot2ATC can do that. And that's our routing. Performance initialization, our flight level is 380. Our alternate flight level will be 370 if we need to divert back to our departure airport. And we will do this. I already loaded the aircraft. That's what you need to do in CRJ. 53 passengers, 1300 kilograms of cargo and 4200 kilograms of fuel, and the payload is already set in the simulator with a trim setting of 6.8. We will copy this into the FMS, and that should do our performance. MFD menu will set the VNAV, and then go to the fixes page and put a 25-mile fix to our destination airport. That will be the situational awareness for me to thinking about vectoring to final and setting the aircraft for approach. So that's all done. Now, while we are waiting for our co-pilot, we can also contact ATC and listen to the ADIS. ADIS frequency is 127.55. So let's tune that. Now active. And we should start hearing the ATC or ADIS information. 127.55. What I was thinking. There we go.
Information Juliet. 342 Zulu winds are 236 at 18 knots. Visibility 6 miles. 2,800 few clouds. 3,800 scattered. 4,700 broken. Temperature 4, dew point 0. Current QNH is 1008.
1008 is set here. It should be set over there too. Right, so we will set this to 1008, so that's done. Now we can contact ground to request our clearance. Ground frequency is 121.6. Let's put it on standby and switch. There we go. And we should be on the ground frequency. CityJet 2177 radio check, please.
CityJet 2177, you are loud and clear.
CityJet 2177, ready to copy IFR to Copenhagen.
CityJet 2177 is clear to Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel. Climb via the EVN 1A departure. With the EVN transition, then is filed. Expect departure runway 09. Climb to 6,000 feet via the departure. Expect higher clearances 3 minutes after departure. Radar director on 119.15. Squawk 4534. CityJet 2177 is cleared to Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel. Climb via the EVN-1A departure, with the EVN transition, then is filed. Climb to 6,000 feet via the departure. Expect higher clearances 3 minutes after departure. Radar director on 119.15. Squawk 4534. CityJet 2177 read back correct. QNH is 1008. Let us know when you're ready for pushback. QNH is 1008. CityJet 2177.
Alright, let's tune out of this frequency until we are ready. So what we received the expected runway and the SID, and we are clear to 6,000 feet, and I programmed the transponder code. What's unrealistic here is our co-pilot is walking outside, and due to my setup in Pilot2ATC, the readback was done by the Pilot2ATC co-pilot. So ignore that, please, because that makes things easier for me to use the co-pilot in Pilot2ATC, especially when climbing and up in the air, so that I can focus on flying the aircraft. So our runway QDM is 86. We will set that for runway 09er. We will set our heading bar to 86. And we will set our V-speeds on our PFD. So that should be all the setup that I need at this point. When our co-pilot is back, she's gonna set the electrical panel, perform all the fire tests and other tests that we need to do, like stall test, landing gear bay overheat test, set the external lights, set the bleed air panel, engine start panel, hydraulic pumps, etc. And that will complete our pre-flight flow. So I might go silent when she is back and let you watch and listen while she is doing what she is doing. So she'll be back in about a minute and a half. And our IRS is still being aligned, so we are good in terms of departure time. Let's see, 1 more minute for our co-pilot to come back. I have a counter here on the program window that shows me when she is expected to be back. That's how I know how long she has left. So 30 seconds now. And I know it's taking longer, but I don't want to stop the video and miss the co-pilot's arrival into the cockpit. So let's just stay here for a little bit. All right, getting close. 10 seconds now. 5, and she should be here any second now.
Aircraft looks good.
All right, so she'll do the
The
electrical
gate
panel.
agent is ready. Are we okay to start boarding?
Yes, please. We will do the ground services, I guess, ourselves. Let me just do that myself. Right, where was my ground services menu? Still trying to get used to the UI of the software. She is setting the air conditioning panel now. It's gonna do the ice detection test next. There you go, right there. She's gonna set the window heat to low after ice detection test is completed. There you go, she already did that. Emergency lights armed. She's gonna perform the stall test next. Yep. And she's gonna set the nose wheel steering. Make sure it's off. That will be probably it.
Set.
Oh, so Cockpit voice recorder. She's going to perform the landing gear bay overheat test now. And the last thing she will do is set our HUD with the correct runway length so that our HUD displays the correct information. So this is the lights test that she is doing now. That is complete. And she's gonna jump to here. And you'll see her deleting the information and entering the new information after this is done. Anti-skip test, I believe, is the test she completed. Now TCAS test. Right here, she's doing that.
TCAS system test OK.
Yep, it's done. Radio panel, she's setting it now. She switched us back to uniform, I believe. For some reason, maybe that's what it is set. She's gonna set the middle pedestal, like the stab trim, Mach trim, and then eventually yaw damper, I believe. And she's now setting the HUD. As you see here, she's going to enter the runway length and all the necessary information for our HUD to display the correct information, which is excellent and unexpected at this point from a software which is offered for free for most of the aircraft. And if you want to get it for CRJ, PMDG, you have to pay a little bit to the developer to get those versions, but it's way cheaper than FS2 Crew. Now she completed the pre-flight flow. Now we can ask her to do the pre-flight checklist. Pre-flight checklist.
Ready for the departure briefing. All right, it will be a left seat takeoff from Echo, November, Victor, Alpha, to Echo, Kilo, Charlie, Hotel. Taxi route is per ATC instructions. We'll be departing on runway 09. Climbing via the departure procedures to an initial altitude of 6,000 feet. Standard reject and emergency procedures apply. Any questions?
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested.
Flight instrument.
Heading and altitude set.
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 Throttle.
Closed.
Fuel control switches.
Cut off.
Parking brake.
Set.
Checklist complete.
That's the pre-flight checklist complete. Only thing she missed is the cutoff, which I already told you guys about. And you heard the briefing. Unfortunately, there's only one recording, I believe, for the briefing, and that's a male voice. That's you
Yes,
just guys
we're all set up here.
ignore that, okay? So now, let's see if we can request boarding. I think it should happen now. After you complete the pre-flight checklist, the boarding should start happening automatically. Let's go outside and see if we can spot the passenger bus. By the way, my live traffic disappeared. I'm not sure why, but we will get it back at any point. So let me stop here and show you guys when the boarding has started. Okay, looks like we have started the boarding. Our passengers should arrive in a bus very shortly. And I will finish the boarding and bring you guys back when we are ready to close the doors and be on our way. Right, we have boarded all of our passengers, our luggage is loaded, and we are ready to do our before start flow and request pushback. So let's start with the before start flow. Before start flow. Now our Copilot is going to start the APU. You see the APU started to appear on our eCam display. Now it's starting or spooling. She's gonna ask us to disconnect GPU and then set the passenger signs and set the external lights and MFD and PFDs, and we will be ready to ask for pushback. We can also do that while we are doing this. CRJ700 ready for pushback and engine start. Oh, I'm not on the frequency. Forgot about that. Let's do CRJ700 ready for pushback and engine start.
CityJet2177 pushback and engine start approved. Pushback and engine start approved. CityJet2177.
Alright, so we are cleared for pushback and engine start. We are waiting for our Copilot to finish the before start flow. APU is online. Let's disconnect the GPU. Now she's gonna continue with the rest, set up the passenger signs and everything else, and we will be ready to call for pushback. Before start checklist.
This is to inform you the aircraft doors have been closed. In order to push back on time, all passengers must be seated with your seatbelts fastened.
Closed.
All luggage must be stored in the overhead bin or under the seat in front of you. The cabin
On.
crew will be passing through to make their final
Set.
safety checks before pushback.
Set.
Thank you and welcome aboard.
On. On.
Fuel pumps.
Set.
Takeoff speed V1-130, VR-130, V2-140. Check FMS.
Completed.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Beacon light.
On.
Checklist complete.
Now as you see, we will select the pushback. We are already cleared. No, we don't want the icing.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brake set.
We will do just that and start our engines when we push back. According to our parking position, we will be pushing the nose to the right, tail to the left. It's gonna be a while until they connect, and we should be ready to go from there. Our Copilot is going to start our engines. Let's just put them to the cutoff position, and I'll just talk about maybe something that needs to be improved, or the I think it's a bug, very minor, but it's just the immersion type of bug. Other than that, it just works fine. I'll talk about it when we are starting the engines. All right. Almost there. Alright, as I said, nose right, tail left.
Release parking brakes.
Brakes are released.
Commencing push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brake set.
Alright, everything is looking okay. We will wait until we start the engines. We can ignore, but let's just wait and follow the instructions we received from ground crew. All right, a little bit more. Very nice. There's, I think, a glitch with this 3D model of the tug driver. He seems uneasy on his seat, but we will ignore that. Almost there, I guess. And we can now think about starting the engines. Let's wait until he finishes. That's a nice pushback. Right on spot. Very well done.
Set parking brakes.
Parking brakes set. And they are waiting for a good engine start confirmation. Start engine 2.
Starting engine 2.
Now our co-pilot is going to do it, and when we reach 20%, this is that bug that I was talking about. She's unable to advance the throttle to idle. But that will probably get fixed. I already reported this to the developer. But I will help our co-pilot to get the engine running. As you see, the latch is moved, but throttle doesn't move. I did it myself. When the engine starts, she should send a good engine start confirmation to the ground crew and they should disconnect. Alright, almost there. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention as we display the safety features and procedures of the aircraft in case of an emergency. During
Starting
an
engine
emergency,
1.
please remain in your seats with your
So
seatbelt
she's gonna
fastened
start
and
engine
your
1.
seats in the upright position.
Right after
In
engine
case of a
2.
drop in cabin,
We don't
please
have to even
breathing
ask
masks
about
drop
it.
from the ceiling and should
She
be
knows
placed
the
over your
sequence.
head.
And she is
If there
now
is
able
smoke
to
in
do
cabin
the
during the evacuation of the aircraft, the
throttle
walkway
movement
emergency lights will display to the
for
exit
engine
which are
1. So I
located
think that
here
only affects
and here.
the right throttle
In case of
lever.
an extreme emergency landing, you will be
Now you'll see
instructed to
it.
get into the brace position, which is
There you
executed
go.
by placing your head between your knees with your hands over your head.
And she should tell the
We would also
GSX
like
to
to remind you that
disconnect
you should turn
when
off
the
all
engines are
electronic
stable.
devices. We thank you for paying attention during this brief presentation.
30 more seconds, and then she should tell the ground crew to disconnect. After they disconnect, we should be ready to do the after start flow, and we can do it while they are disconnecting as well. So it started raining. We might be taking off with NTIs on.
Engine 1 cut out. Engine 2 cut out. All engines stable.
Okay,
Cockpit to
there we
ground.
go.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
I didn't touch anything, as you see. They are now disconnecting, and we can do the after start flow. After start flow, please. She's gonna set everything for us and wait for us to do a flight controls check. You'll see the screen changing to flight controls. She's gonna stop the APU.
Locking gear.
APU is pulling down. She's gonna set the external lights, like the taxi light. She's gonna set the nose wheel steering. She's gonna set the flaps, which she already did, and she's gonna set the transponder to TARA.
Truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right
I
is
think the
clear.
flight controls are part of taxi checklist. That's my bad. Let's request our taxi clearance. Are we on the frequency? No, we are not. Let's tune back into the frequency. We should be on frequency now. We can press the TO button on our throttle quadrant to put the aircraft to the takeoff mode. And we can ask for taxi clearance. CRJ700 ready to taxi runway 09er.
CRJ700 taxi to runway 09 via taxiways Mike 1, Juliet, Yankee, Alpha 3, Alpha 2, hold short runway 09. Taxi
we are
to
on
runway
Mike.
09 via taxiways Mike 1,
Mike
Juliet,
1.
Yankee,
Juliet
Alpha
is in
3,
front of us,
Alpha
and the
2,
Yankee is a
hold
left
short
turn,
runway 09 CityJet
as you see on the
2177.
taxi sign up there. Alright, let's do the taxi checklist then. Taxi checklist.
Taxi checklist.
Set. Set. Checked.
Flight controls.
This is where we do the flight controls. Full left.
Full left. Full right. Full back. Full forward. Rudder full left. Rudder full right. Check. Grounding.
Clear.
Checklist complete.
So now we can go ahead and taxi. Parking brake is off. Just a little bit of initial throttle, and she should go get moving. I just touched my controller and changed the flap setting, but now it is corrected. We'll probably need a little bit more throttle to get moving. As I always say, ice and snow is super sticky. And we are having a hard time moving. Should hopefully give us the throttle we need to move. I wish it doesn't start raining. It makes it hard to taxi in Microsoft Flight Simulator like this. Next turn to left should be Yankee. That is our taxiway to runway 09. So I'll keep taxiing like this and bring you guys back when we are ready for our departure. Alright, weather changed again. There's something wrong with live weather today, I guess. But we are coming to our runway. And we will be ready to request our departure clearance and do the before takeoff checklist and be on our way. This right turn is our turn into runway 09er. We will hold short and then request clearance and do our checklist.
Approaching runway 09.
This is the RAS system, Runway Advisory, Awareness and Advisory System, which is built into FSFO. And great to have. This is a paid add-on that comes free with FSFO, which is quite nice actually. Let's just stop here. We are handed over to tower. We can put our flight director to takeoff mode. CRJ700 ready for departure, runway 09er.
CRJ700 wind 0266 at 24 knots, QNH is 1009er cleared for takeoff, runway 09 squawk 5231.
Clear for takeoff. Runway 09 squawking 5231 CityJet 2177.
Right, that's us. Before takeoff checklist. Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps.
Set.
Exterior line.
Set. Set.
Transponder.
Set.
Checklist complete. Flight attendants prepare for takeoff.
Alright. We are good to go now. I might go silent and do not make any comments because it confuses our co-pilot when I'm using voice recognition. So I will do the takeoff, and during climb I will start talking again.
392 November, contact departure 127 bye-bye. 27750 is the 392 number. Bye.
On runway 09.
Let's rise again, and we are ready.
Yes, if you're by your stand is not free, so I think if you can
Takeoff power.
to take the opening bay, I think it's better for the ground control.
Thrust set.
Check.
Speed alive.
Check.
80 knot.
Check. Hotel 985, clear to 06, wind light with 3
Rotate.
knots.
V2, 3,000 feet remaining. Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up. Feet.
Yeah, 11 ready, my contact
Flaps
departure 127
1.
Flaps 1. LN Avion. VN Avion. Acceleration altitude.
Climb power.
Set.
Autopilot on.
Command hail.
Radar director on 119.15 CityJet 2177. Radar director CityJet 2177 climbing to 6,000 feet. CityJet 2177,
Flaps up.
good morning.
Flaps up.
Radar contact.
Contact 1470, calls 135.980. Bye.
Heading to left.
Flaps up. Ready, November.
So far so good. There are some bugs I guess that needs fixed. It's automatically selecting other flight modes.
Flaps 45.
Flap 0.
Flaps up. Flaps 1. Flaps up.
Alright, we are coming up to our altitude. We should hear.
CityJet 2177 climb to flight level 150. Climb to flight level 150 CityJet 2177.
Set flight level 150. Set flight level 150. Yes, I have to do it myself.
CityJet 2177 slow to 220 knots or less.
VN Avion.
Loco CityJet 2177.
Missed the
CityJet
speed.
2177 contact photo center on 118.55. Enjoy. Center
But we are
on
climbing just fine.
118.55. Take care CityJet 2177.
We should be fine from now on. I'm not sure why I cannot set the flight level.
Center CityJet 2177
Maybe it's
climbing to
about
flight
this new
level
revision.
150.
Set
CityJet
standard.
2177, good morning.
Set standard pressure.
Check.
Set.
Alright, that should be it from now on. We are waiting for 10,000 and our co-pilot should turn off the landing lights. I think there are some bugs that will need fixed and addressed with this version that I just downloaded. So hopefully they will get fixed by the developer. He's pretty responsive, I'm pretty sure they will. We'll see about that. Let's synchronize our heading Past 10,000, and that will be it for this video, and we will continue this with this flight in the second video where we descend, arrive and approach land. We passed 10,000 feet, landing lights came off, passenger side should be also turned off any minute now. Yep. So we can ask the co-pilot to increase the speed.
The captain has turned off the seatbelt
Set
sign.
speed 280.
You're free to get up and use the lavatories. However, we ask that you do not form a line at the front of the
Set
aircraft.
speed 280.
Speed 288.
Set speed 280. Set speed 280. This is interesting. This was working just fine with the old revision. Set speed 280. Set speed 280.
Speed 170.
Interesting. Set speed 280. Yes, I have to do this myself as well.
Jet 2177 climb to flight level 230. Climb to flight level 230, City Jet 2177.
Like that said, there is nothing our co-pilot is going to do at this point. We are climbing per ATC instructions, and that's about it for this flight, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it has been a long video. If you stayed until the end, thanks for being here and your patience and staying with me. I hope to see you again, and if you have any comments and questions about what I have shared, please feel free to drop me a comment. And if you stumbled upon this video and not subscribed to the channel, take a couple seconds to hit that subscribe button. It will help a lot, and it literally costs nothing, and I appreciate your support if you choose to do so. Thank you very much, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.